Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of January 2021. First up, boys and girls, in first class, we're going to correct page 58 in our Just Phonics. So, number 1 was rabbit. Rabbit. Bit was the second syllable. And the full word was rab, and the second syllable was bit, it. Do you see how I'm using the syllables to help me spell out the word? Panda. Da was the second syllable. And I'll spell it pan, p-a, da, d-a. Next word was zebra, zebra. The second syllable was, I made a mistake. Zebra. The second syllable was ra. So zeb, z-e-b. And second syllable, ra, a. Fourth word was lizard. Liz-ard. Second syllable was ard. A-R-D. So I'll spell it all together. Liz, L-I-Z, ard. A-R-D. Ard. Walrus. Walrus. Wall. It's got our A-L that's making the all sound. Rus. And give it a tick if you got it correct. Beaver. Beaver. Is our second syllable. Beav, b-e with the e-a, v, and second syllable, beaver. Number 7, ostrich. Ostrich, ich, rich. Rich, ich. The word rich is actually the second syllable. Lobster, lob-ster. It's our the mixer sound. Lob, l-ob. S-T-E-R. Number 9, raccoon. Raccoon. Ooh, it's got our O that's making the ooh sound. Rack, coon. Ooh, And finally, number 10, meerkat. Cat. And this is actually our k, that is the kicking king sound. E, and this time it's E with the E special friend. And cat. K, a, t. Our friends here came together to make starfish and seahorse. Now time to correct your dictation sentence. The, capital T for the start of a sentence. T-H-E spells the, give that a tick. Finger space, panda. Pan. a, n, da, d, a. The panda eats. Eat is spelled with the special friend E-A. So E-A-T-S. Bamboo. Bamboo. The first syllable is bam. B-A-M. Second syllable is boo. B-oo. That's our special friend O-O coming together to make the long oo sound. And finally, a full stop at the end of that sentence for your last tick, and give yourself a score out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, please. And remember, show me if you got a happy face, okay face, or sad face. Next up, boys and girls, you are going to be doing page 59 in your Just Phonics. Write today's date, the 26th of January, 26.1 up on top, please. Wow, I can't believe how the days are flying on day 26 already. So you have to look at the pictures of the different animals. Color the pictures that are 2-syllable animals. So that means they have 2 parts in their word, 2 chunks. So put your hand underneath your chin and let's do the first one together. Tiger. Nice and slow again. Tiger. How many times did your hand move down? Twice. So it's a 2-syllable word, so you can color in your tiger. Next one. Lizard. Lizard. How many times did it move down? Twice. So it's a 2-syllable word. Next one. Gorilla. Let's put our hand underneath our chin and stick it together with glue. Not literally, figuratively speaking. And let's say it nice and slow together. Gorilla. Gorilla. How many parts were there? There were 3 parts, so it was a 3-syllable word. We do not color it in. So that's how you do activity A, boys and girls. Then activity B, you have to read the question and answer it using one of the animals from above. Number 1 is done for you. Let's do 2 together. Which animal has a horn? So a horn is like a pointy spear sticking out in front. And I can see it's the rhino. So I'll write rhino. And remember, there's a silent H here after the R. Rhino. And then you give yourself a little tick there to say that you have used it. There is no dictation sentence for today, but what I would like you to do is read aloud all these words and say how many syllables are in it. Best of luck, boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls, now it's time for your spelling. So let's correct yesterday's activity on page 61 in your spell well. We had to write the opposite meanings of these words. The opposite of uncertain is sure. S-U-R-E. The S is actually making the special French sound there. It's a bit tricky. The opposite of tiny is huge. Huge. The G-E is making the J sound there. The opposite of duchess is duke. The Duke of Wales. D-U-K. And it's spelled with the kicking king, not a clever cat. The opposite of ugly is cute. Cute. The magic E turns the into the U sound. Without it, you'd have the word cut. The opposite of dirty is pure. Pure. The magic E turned the into the U sound. Pure rhymes with sure. The opposite of loud is mute. I put the telly on mute so I could hear the doorbell. And if you took away your magic E that turns the into the U, you have the word mott. Next one, hurt. The opposite of hurt is a cure. We're all hoping for a cure for COVID. And cure also rhymes with sure and pure. And the opposite of to, I'm going to the shop. I came from the shop. From. Now, boys and girls, our spelling for tonight. The magic E turned our into the U sound. So, cute. Cute can describe what something looks like or the size of something. So, it's an adjective. Color it blue, please. The magic E again turned the into the U sound. So we've got mute. Mute. Mute means silent or quiet. It describes a sound, so it's an adjective. Color it blue, please. Now remember, your magic E's are always silent. You do not sound them out at the end of a word. Next one, we've got hug, but the magic E turned the into the U sound. So now it's huge. And the GE is a special friend making the J sound. Huge can tell you the size of something. So once again, it's a describing word, which means it's an adjective. Color it blue, please. And finally, Duke. The magic E turned the into the U sound. Duke. Duke. Prince William is the Duke of Wales. Or is that Prince Charles? Well, one of them is the Duke of Wales anyway. So they are a person, which makes them a noun. So color it yellow, please. Then you are going to do activity C on page 61. And you have to unjumble the letters to make a word from your list words. And here we have tune. I play a tune on my flute. Remember to send a photo when you're done, boys and girls. Today, boys and girls, we are going to be learning line 3 and 4 of our poem. But first, let's go back and revise line 1 and 2. Build a little house. I will build a little house with a chimney tall, a funny sloping roof, and a garden wall. Next, 2 big gates that open wide. 2 big gates that open wide. And 2 tiny little windows you can peep inside. So again, 2 big gates that will open wide and 2 tiny little windows you can peep inside. One more time. 2 big gates that will open wide and 2 tiny little windows you can peep inside. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to put those 4 lines together with the title. Build a little house. I will build a little house with a chimney tall, a funny sloping roof, and a garden wall. 2 big gates that will open wide and 2 tiny little windows you can peep inside. Now try it on your own, boys and girls. This week, boys and girls, in Irish, we are going to be learning how to say the type of house we live in. The question you will be asked is, Cá bhfuil tú is a chónaí? Cá bhfuil tú is a chónaí? Is a chónaí means where are you living? Remember, cá bhfuil means where. We had that for the last 2 weeks when we were asking cá bhfuil níamh. This week we're focusing on cá bhfuil tú is a chónaí. You might live in a bungalow. If you do, repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I bungalow. Tám I mo chónaí I bungalow. If you do not live in a bungalow, you can repeat this after me. Níl mé I mo chónaí I bungalow. Níl mé I mo chónaí I bungalow. If you live in a caravan, repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I caravan. Tám I mo chónaí I caravan. If you do not live in a caravan, repeat after me. Níl mé I mo chónaí I caravan. Níl mé I mo chónaí I caravan. If you're in a fairy tale, you might live in this place, a castlán. Tám I mo chónaí I gashlán. Tám I mo chónaí I gashlán. If you do not live in a castle, repeat after me. Níl mé I mo chónaí I gashlán. Níl mé I mo chónaí I gashlán. If you live in a detached house that is not touching another house either on the left or the right hand side, it's standing on its own, you live in a teach scuite. Repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I teach scuite. Arís. Tám I mo chónaí I teach scuite. Arís. Tám I mo chónaí I teach scuite. If you do not live in a detached house, say, Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach scuite. Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach scuite. If you live in a semi-detached house that's touching one other house, either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, you live in a teach la scuite. Repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. Tám I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. Arís. Tám I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. And if you are not, Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. Níl mé I mo chónaí I teach la scuite. If you are living in a terraced house that is touching another house on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, you're living in a teach sraithe. Teach sraithe. Repeat after me. Tám I mo chónaí I teach sraithe. Tom I Mahoney I Jock Sraha. Arish. Tom I Mahoney I Jock Sraha. And if you are not, Níl mé I Mahoney I Jock Sraha. Níl mé I Mahoney I Jock Sraha. And finally, if you're living in an apartment, you're living in an árasán. Repeat after me. Tom I Mahoney in árasán. Tom I Mahoney in árasán. Arish. Tom I Mahoney in árasán. And finally, if you are not, Níl mé I Mahoney in árasán. Níl mé I Mahoney in árasán. You do not need to learn all this vocabulary at all. All I want you to learn this week is Tom I Mahoney I and whatever house you live in. So Tom I Mahoney I Mongolo, Tom I Mahoney I Garvan, Tom I Mahoney I Gashlon, Tom I Mahoney I Jock Squita, Tom I Mahoney I Jock Lashquita, Tom I Mahoney I Jock Sraha, nu Tom I Mahoney in árasán. Remember, boys and girls, this week you have to do your umbrella for Eddie the Teddy investigation. So just a reminder, you have until Friday to complete it, and I'd like you to be able to explain it either in writing or in video if you're in senior infants, and make sure to include your question, equipment, prediction, safety tip, method, results and conclusion. Remember, your equipment is all the things that you'll need for your investigation, and it's written going down in a list using bullet points. Your prediction is what you think will be the best material. A safety tip is anything you might need to be careful with. So if you saw Alice's photo yesterday, you saw that she made sure to keep it safe from spillages by putting her jar into a basin and a towel underneath her basin. Then your method, you need to write the steps you need to follow and have them written with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, your results and conclusion. Can't wait to see what you send in, boys and girls. Today, boys and girls, we are going to be finding halves of squares. Remember, squares are 2D flat shapes that are like a rectangle because they have 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're different than rectangles because all of their sides are the same length. In a rectangle, there are 2 long sides and 2 short sides, but all 4 sides of a square are the same length. So, you can use a ruler to help you here, and you're going to split your first square in half by drawing a line from the top left corner to the bottom right. It's a diagonal line that you'll be drawing. Take your time and make sure it's straight using a ruler. That's one way to split a square in half. Do you notice what shape you get when you split it in half? It's a triangle. You have 2 triangles now. Next, you're going to go from the top right corner to the bottom left corner. Again, this is a diagonal line going down sideways like a slide. And what shapes do we have now? 2 triangles. In your third square, I'd like you to split it vertically down the middle. So when we split a square this way, what shape do you think we have? And apologies, my line is not straight because I can't use a ruler here. What shapes do you see? Rectangles. So when you split a square vertically down the middle, you get rectangles. Number 4, the last way you're going to split your square in half is horizontally, left to right, going across the middle. So just like this. Remember, take your time. Make sure it's nice and neat. Now what shapes do you have? Well, it's got 4 sides, 4 corners, 2 long and 2 short sides. It's a rectangle. It's just horizontal instead of vertical. Senior infants, what you have to do then is colour each half in your square a different colour. So remember, when you're splitting something in half, you're splitting it in 2 parts that are the same size. They have to be the same size. Otherwise, they are not a half. First class, you have to go one step further and use these shapes to show half of the following numbers. So your first number is 10. And you can do the one for me, one for you method. So 1 for you, 1 for me, 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 1 for you, 1 for me. Count just to make sure you've 10 in total. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'll get my pointer and start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I have 10 in total. How many is in 1/2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of 10 is 5. Let's do the next one together. We are going to be finding half of 12. Once again, we'll do the 1 for you, 1 for me method. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I can just check how many is in 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now earlier I did mention that in order for something to be half, it needs to be the same size. So the same size or the same amount. So if I have 6 over here, I should have 6 on my other half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I do. So half of 12 is 6. Try the next numbers 14 and 16 on your own now, boys and girls in first class. Next up, boys and girls in first class, it's your Tables Tuesday on week 17, page 36 in your Work It Out. Please remember to write today's date 26.1 for the 26th day of the first month, the 26th of January, up on top here, please. Today we are going to be adding 7 to a number. So let's go. Number 1. Plus 7 equals 16. Number 2. Plus 7 equals 14. Number 3. Plus 7 equals 9. Number 4. Plus 7 equals 15. Number 5. Plus 7 equals 7. Number 6. Plus 7 equals 17. Number 7. Plus 7 equals 13. Number 8. Plus 7 equals 11. Number 9. Plus 7 equals 10. Number 10. Plus 7 equals 12. Number 11. 7 plus equals 11. Number 12. 7 plus equals 17. 13. 7 plus 6 equals 14. 7 plus 3 equals 15. 7 plus 9 equals 16. Plus 7 equals 17. Plus 7 equals 12. 18. Plus 7 equals 8. 19. 7 plus equals 16. 20. 7 plus equals 9. If you need to pause and complete that activity, do so now, but I'm going to move straight to corrections. Number 1, 9 plus 7 equals 16. 2, 7 plus 7 equals 14. 3, 2 plus 7 equals 9. 4, 8 plus 7 equals 15. 5, 0 plus 7 equals 7. 6, 10 plus 7 equals 17. 7, 6 plus 7 equals 13. 8, 4 plus 7 equals 11. 9, 3 plus 7 equals 10. 10, 5 plus 7 equals 12. 11, 7 plus 4 equals 11. Apologies there. 12, 7 plus 10 equals 17. 13, 7 plus 6 equals 13. 14, 7 plus 3 equals 10. 15, 7 plus 9 equals 16. 16, 4 plus 7 equals 11. 17, 5 plus 7 equals 12. 18, 1 plus 7 equals 8. 19, 7 plus 9 equals 16. And 20, 7 plus 2 equals 9. Give yourself a sad face, fine face or happy face and a score out of 20, please. Well done, boys and girls. This week, boys and girls, we are going to be exploring electricity in our homes. Electricity can make our lives so much easier, but it can also be very dangerous. Watch this video to see how electricity helps us in our homes, and watch this second video to see how we have to be safe around electricity. Today, your activity is to go to your kitchen and identify ways in which electricity makes jobs in the kitchen easier. Then I want you to identify one danger of electricity in your kitchen. If you look at this picture here, we have too many plugs in an electric circuit. This could cause a spark to happen, which could cause a fire. Take a photo or send a video of your electricity in your kitchen. Finally, boys and girls, it's time to sit back, relax, and listen to today's book, The Kelly's House Hunt, written by Mary O'Keefe and published by Gill Education.